So Nigerians, shine your eyes and put your interest in what is going on now in the National Assembly, because that law determines your fate in 2027, determines the fate of who will govern you people at all levels in 2027. So it's not a joke. It's not something you play with. It's not something you just talk and go away. It's something you need to participate in and ensure that the right thing is done. Start calling your representatives in the National Assembly, whether Senator or House of Rep member. Start calling them now and start telling them what you want to see in the electoral law. That is the way it works. If you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you. And they're going to pass whatever law that suits them. And at the end of the day, you come out to start crying. It's our responsibility as citizens to hold our members, National Assembly members, accountable, to pass the law that we want, not the law they want. They are representing us, the people. So office of the citizen is the highest office when it comes to democracy. But Nigerians, we don't use our office properly. Don't sit down and say it doesn't concern me. It's the politicians. Whatever they do, that's their business. In fact, that day I'm not even going to vote. It's all right. Say so. Stay in your house. At the end, the bad people will continue to rule you people. And hunger will continue to be in the land. It is now that you have to lay that foundation by ensuring that the proper electoral law is passed, which will guarantee free and fair election, at least to some point. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. Well, today the social media was agog with what is going on in the National Assembly. We saw a lot of videos, a lot of tweets coming out on the social media, particularly on X. That the Nigerian Senate has refused to include electronic transmission of result in the new amended Electoral Act, which is still probably work in progress as we speak. So this information came out, and I think I watched the video of the Senate president where he was kind of looking a bit confused that no, this was not removed. It was still part of the law as it was in 2022, which dovetailed to the election of 2023. But the fact remains that even in 2022, when transmission of result was there, it was not kind of known to law, because the INEC guideline is not law, right? They developed their guideline from the Electoral Act, which is a law. But the problem was that the Supreme Court, during the 2023 election, passed a judgment that transmission of result is solely at the discretion of INEC. So whichever way INEC want to transmit the result is up to them. That electronic transmission of result is not known to law, that there's a law backing it up that INEC must follow it. So that was how they protected Mahmoud Yakubu at that time, because of this lacuna in the law. So based on that, the whole thing kind of truncated the hope of Nigerians who believe that during the court proceedings, that something different is going to happen, but it never did. This is the reason why many Nigerians were looking up to the National Assembly, that if they include all these kind of clauses that will strengthen, the electoral system, so that there will be transparency, there will be accountability, and the election will be won and lost at the polling booth, not going to call for court to determine who wins an election or who doesn't. So these are the reasons why Nigerians are clamoring for that. And so many people were kind of surprised, giving up hope that the country is gone, that the country is already, lost. So based on that, a lot of us was like, if this is the issue, then the whole citizens, they have the right to march to the National Assembly and demand what they want them to put in the law. Don't forget that the National Assembly, they are the representative of the people. That's why every one of them that want to speak, we say they are representing, so constituency. And if they are truly representing the people, what they will pass in the electoral law will be what the people want, not what the politicians want, or not what the president want, or whosoever want. Is what the Nigerian citizens want. That's what should be in the electoral law. So, but we have to look into, what really transpired and be able to clear, the air concerning this whole issue. But before we go into that, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you'll be among those that will be notified. Okay, guys, let's, delve into the issues that, transpired within the, the National Assembly in terms of this electoral law, which they are trying to, build up and pass. But I listened to quite some senators. There are some senators that I still believe in, that they have some level of credibility, and when they say something, they stand on, what they say. And when you see them speak on the floor of the Senate, you see them speak with power. You see them speak without fear or favor. So one among those people is Senator Eyinaya Baribe, who I listened to, who was, in a press conference that he did, was speaking that I think he also featured in Arise TV, where he was trying to clarify exactly what transpired in the, the Senate. And according to what he said, he made it clear that the electronic transmission of result is still there in the law, and that they make sure that it will be transmitted in real time, because they want election to be lost and won at the polling booth. Just like I said earlier, court determining who wins election simply doesn't mean it's now true democracy, because it is the right of the people to choose who governs them, not the court. But because of the flawed electoral system that we have, our Nigerian courts are now those that determine who win and lose elections. We have seen this in different, election cycle. So based on that, Abaribe, Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe, continued to emphasize that that law did not change. Rather, they tried to kind of tighten it a little bit to make sure that that position, the court took in the previous election in 2023 does not repeat itself in 2027 and going forward. So, but in as much as when I saw the news in the morning, I was like, wow, simply means that these guys are, in the National Assembly, they are trying to protect their positions. They are trying, to create that gap that, will make them not to lose, their seat or their principal or whoever it may be. But after listening to Enyinnaya Abaribe, I felt, somehow and hopeful that, okay, if Enyinnaya have said this, it means there is hope. It means that what we had earlier, that they have expunged it, that is not in the law, may not be true. And also looking at the way the Senate President was looking confused, when he was speaking concerning that, but because of the way he run the National Assembly, that they parlayed with, the executive, so many people don't believe what he said. That's why, despite what he was saying at the floor of the Senate, many Nigerians did not believe what he said. But now that we have seen some, senators that we believe still had, some kind of credibility, we are beginning to be a little bit hopeful that maybe at the end of the day, this may scale through. And I also listened to Senator Victor, from Anambra State, and he was kind of detailing, bit by bit process they went through to be able to ensure that electronic transmission of result to IRev is still there in the law. So having listened to these two, people speaking about what transpired in the executive session that they had, I begin to, kind of build up hope again that maybe at the end of the day, Nigerians may win, when the electronic transmission of result is put in IRev. But having said all of this, I think Nigerians really have a whole lot to do, Nigerian citizens, because situation like this, assuming it's happening in the United States, you see the citizens immediately calling their congressmen and women, telling them, this is what we want, this is what we want. If they don't do it, they know that in midterm elections, they will be taken out because vote counts. So they will take them out during, midterm elections. And that is why their congressmen and women listens to them and be able to, move to the direction that their constituency wants them to move. But in Nigeria, the case is different because most cases, elections are won and lost in the courts. So the highest bidder, gets the result. And a lot of rigging and stuff like that, snatching of ballot box and all that. So you recall why a court in Canada, mentioned the APC and PDP as a terrorist organization because of the way and manner they conduct the election. So when you look at this scenario, the citizens are not supposed to just remain, on social media tweeting, and they're supposed to be, in fact, the day of the voting, they're supposed to be in National Assembly to ensure that all those things that they want in the electoral law are voted for by the National Assembly members. That's the way democracy works. They have the right to go there. The parliament is people's office, is the office of the citizen. It doesn't belong to the members, it belongs to Nigeria. So they have the right to go there on the day of the voting, actual voting, and be able to know exactly what they are voting for on that day, so that they'll be sure that what they want are there. And right now, as I speak, they should be calling their members, the people representing their constituency in the House of Reps and in the Senate, and begin to tell them what they want to see in the electoral law. And that's how things work. So if we stand by, just talk and go and sleep, nothing gonna change. And 2027, you will still get those people that you don't want leading you. That's the way it is. So it is the responsibility of every Nigerian to speak up and to also devote your time, your resources, your energy to pursue this agenda to make sure that it works, because that is only what will guarantee free and fair election. When election result is signed at the polling booths, immediately before every agent, they upload it to the IRev. At that time, it becomes difficult for them to manipulate, except they have access from the back room to the server. And I don't know if there is a clause in this Electoral Act that can prevent this kind of scenario, telling Nigerians that there was a technical glitch, creating an non-existing IT problem to lay hold on it to be able to manipulate the election result. So I don't know if there is any way this issue can be taken care of, maybe within the law. I don't know. But again, the issue of INEC providing electoral materials to all political parties and all those people that participate in the election in case they want to go to court. They are the ones that have the materials, right? Everything that was used for election is under their purview. However, if the IRev is now made the collation center and the results are transmitted electronically, then anybody can have access to the portal and download their result for the court in case they still want to go to court. And just like I saw the anchor of Channels TV, Shego Kimbalo asking Senator Victor Ume if they were able to kind of tidy up this aspect of ensuring that all court cases are dispensed before swearing in, and he said no, that they have not tidied that angle. So I think it's something that needs to be done. It's supposed to be in the electoral law. That this is because all pre-election matters supposed to be dispensed prior to the election result, to the election itself. That's number one. Then the second part of it will be that all post-election matters, those that lost election that went to court, those matters must be dispensed before the swearing in of any of the winners, so that they will swear in the right person at the end of the day. So they're supposed to have a kind of window, number of days, that this whole process will happen and end before swearing in of any governor, member of House of Assembly, local government chairmen, National Assembly members, president, and what have you. Which means that for them to get this done, they need to kind of create, a special maybe election petition, not just the tribunal, but I'm talking about a special court, that will sit for that period of day and night, and dispense all these, issues before the swearing in. So I think that is what, needed to be done, because you can't just swear the president in and then he will start going to court to defend whether he won an election or not. It doesn't make sense. He already have power, and they can control any the judiciary or the INEC or whoever to play, towards his angle. So it's not fair to others who are not in power at that time. But when all these things is happening before swearing in, everybody will be on the same page, on the same playing field. And that's when you can see equity and fairness and all that. So it's very important that all this. So these are the things I'm beckoning the citizen. It's not just everybody focusing only on electronic transmission of results. There are other important things also that will help that electronic transmission to work. So that is the point. So Nigerians, shine your eyes and put your interest in what is going on now in the National Assembly, because that law determines your fate in 2027, determines the fate of who will govern you people at all levels in 2027. So it's not a joke. It's not something you play with. It's not something you just talk and go away. It's something you need to participate in and ensure that the right thing is done. So that is what it is. Start calling your representatives in the National Assembly, whether senator or House of Rep member. Start calling them now and start telling them what you want to see in the electoral law. That is the way it works. If you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you. And they're going to pass whatever law that suits them. And at the end of the day, you come out to start crying. Again, the law is supposed to, take care of all this election violence, snatching of ballot boxes and all this. It's supposed to be part of the law. Jail sentence for those who are caught, and even those who send them. I've heard about the vote buying stuff, those who are buying vote and buying voters card and what have you, that there is a jail term for them and all. So there should be no fine. If they catch you, you are going to jail. You have to put deterrent. That's how you stop people from doing, what is wrong. It's our responsibility as citizens to hold our members, National Assembly members, accountable, to pass the law that we want, not the law they want. They are representing us, the people. So office of the citizen is the highest office when it comes to democracy. But Nigerians, we don't use our office properly. Don't sit down and say it doesn't concern me. It's the politicians. Whatever they do, that's their business. In fact, that day I'm not even going to vote. It's all right. Say so, stay in your house. At the end, the bad people will continue to rule you people. And hunger will continue to be in the land. Lack of development will be there. And all these challenges we are going through. Are you not tired of no light? Are you not tired of high cost of transportation? Are you not tired of high cost of living? Are you not tired of unemployment that is everywhere? Or the battered economy? Are you not tired of all this inflation and all these things? So it is now that we have to lay that foundation by ensuring that the proper electoral law is passed, which will guarantee free and fair election, at least to some point. You may not get it 100%, but at least when the law is watertight, it strengthens the process and be able to, scale the transparency and accountability process in our election, at least from 30–40% it is today to, kind of 70%. That's fair enough. At least it gives opportunity for more better people and good people to come into government so that they can be able to start changing, things. Because the kind of people we have today, majority of them are heartless. They don't care about anybody. They care about themselves, what they get, and how they take care of themselves and their families and buy properties abroad. We can see what is going on in the corruption cases. You can see with the former AGF, you can see 212 billion. So when you see all these things, if you don't stop it now by ensuring that the proper, clauses are put in the law, then we have missed it forever. So guys, I'm trying to encourage you guys not to give up. It's work in progress. They are still working on the law. So the Senate has had the executive session. They are already, taking some position. The House of Reps is also taking their position. At the end, they will come to harmonize the whole thing to come up with a one law that will be the National Assembly law. The Senate is working, the Reps is working, but they have to put it together to harmonize it to become one law. So that's when they will do the voting, to be able to say, which one do we go for? Is it this or this? So now is the time to work on your representatives. It is now, not when they are voting. It is now you hold them. Let them know if they fail to do what you people want in 2027, you people will campaign against them and make sure that they don't return. That's how you deal with this kind of people. So by then they know that their position will be threatened, then they will work hard to do the right thing. It's better you win and win creditably than, winning with wayo, corner way. No, it doesn't help anybody. INEC is waiting for them because it is the law that they will capitalize on to develop their guidelines, right? And also we will give the current INEC chairman the benefit of doubt to prove himself that he is for the people, all right? So we can't use the yardstick we use for Mahmoud to judge him, but can we tell which position is he on the people's side or on the politician side? What we want is have a credible electoral law and let INEC be compelled to follow that electoral law to the letter. We don't want to be having, election cases in court. We want election to be won and lost on the polling booth. Even if there will be some that will go to court, let it be very few, very, very few. It is what shows how our election is transparent. You can see what happens in America. Presidential election, nobody went to court. Go to other election, Congress election, governorship. It's hard for you to see somebody suing to court that he lost election in one court to determine. It's hard because the process is there. It's not perfect, but at least it's more enhanced and better than what we have, in our country. So when you see even local government chairman is going to court for election issues, then that tells you that our, electoral process is in shambles. So that's how you rate election. Number of cases that went to court is part of the KPIs, to measure transparent election. Now is the time for the NGOs, those are under, electoral, processes to come out, like the Yaga Africa and the rest of them. It's time for you guys to come out and begin to ensure that these laws are passed. Not when they are finished, you will now go on TV and be talking. It doesn't change anything. It is now that the process is beginning, that everybody needs to do what? Work together to ensure that proper thing is done. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to let it slide there. But just one last thing I'm going to tell you is that there is still hope. They have not cancelled the transmission of result electronically to IRev. They have not, as per what some senators I hold in high esteem have said already. Senator Inaya Baibe, Senator Victor Ume. So I've listened to them and they have made it clear that it's there. Despite that, Senate President have also said something like that. So we'll keep hope alive, but we need to keep eye on these guys, follow them up on this and see that we are not left behind. That's what I have to tell you. I don't know what you think about this whole thing, but my comment section is open for you. So that you put out your comment there. We continue to talk about what is good for our country, and hopefully by God's grace, things are going to work out fine by 2027. I don't know what is your thought concerning this whole thing, and how do you feel, when you had it before that it was removed and all that. That's the first news that, got out there. But I don't know how you felt, but my conversation is open for you. Just tell us, what was your feeling? Did you lose hope? Did you think that all hope is lost? Do you think it's true or not? Please let me hear from you on my comment section. Okay guys, before I leave, if you are new to my channel, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on the notification bell so that when I release my next new video, you'll be among those that will be notified. All right, thank you for watching. May God bless you. I'm signing out. You have a wonderful day.